I work with the National Parks and Wildlife Service in the Scientific Advice and Research Directorate, and my role is now Restoration Planning Ecologist. So I work mainly on the nature restoration law and the National Restoration Plan that's associated with that. Prior to that, I was the woodland ecologist, and I have a particular interest in woodland restoration. And today I'm going to be speaking about the scientific research and the restoration planning that NPWS has been doing for woodland habitats in recent years. So nature restoration is a hot topic at the moment, and I'm going to give you a quick overview of the legislative and policy framework behind that. This has been declared as the UN Decade on Ecosystem Restoration. And you may remember that in 2022, there was a big meeting in Montreal called the COP meeting, and many countries came together and signed the Global Biodiversity Framework, which was part of the Convention on Biological Diversity. And Ireland is one of the signatories to that. And that framework has very ambitious targets for nature restoration. And aligned with that, then we have the EU Biodiversity Strategy for 2030 and the EU Forest Strategy for 2030, both of which have, again, ambitious targets for the conservation and protection of biodiversity and forest habitats in particular. In Ireland, we have a new forest strategy, relatively new, and that's got more of a focus than ever on broadleaf woodland and expansion of native woodlands. And there are provisions there for funding the restoration and establishment of native woodlands also. Our afforestation policy aims to increase Ireland's forest cover from 11.6% as it stands today up to 18%. And then most recently, we have the EU Nature Restoration Law, which came into force on the 18th of August. And one of the requirements of that law is that member states prepare a national restoration plan within 2 years. So we're in the early phases of working on that plan. Now, John spoke a bit about the Annex 1 woodland habitats that are listed under the Habitats Directive and mentioned that we monitor the condition of those to report to the European Union every 6 years. And the last round of monitoring was done in 2019. And these are the results for the 4 Annex 1 woodland habitats that we have in the Republic of Ireland. Unfortunately, it's not positive news. 3 of the 4 are in bad conservation status. Yew woodland is bad but stable, but unfortunately Old Cecil Oak woodland and alluvial woodland are bad and continuing to decline. One positive note is that our bog woodlands are considered to be in favourable status. So we have a lot of restoration work to do. Now, the Nature Restoration Law is a very far-reaching piece of legislation. There are articles that relate to many different aspects of the natural environment, but the main ones that relate to forests are Article 4, 12 and 13. Article 4 focuses on the restoration of terrestrial, coastal and freshwater ecosystems. So it's those Annex 1 habitats. And it has very ambitious targets for nature restoration. Member states are required to put measures in place to improve the Annex 1 habitats to good condition. And we need to have measures in place on 30% of the habitats in bad condition by 2030, 60% by 2040 and 90% by 2050. And there are also targets for re-establishment of lost Annex 1 habitats up to what we call the favourable reference area. And that means the minimum area that's needed to ensure the viability of that habitat in the long term. So the targets there, again, very ambitious. We need to re-establish 30% of that shortfall by 2030, 60% by 2040, and 100% by 2050. Article 12 relates to the restoration of forest ecosystems more broadly, so taking in all of our forests, including the non-native plantations, other native woodlands other than the annex habitats, And Article 13 relates to the planting of 3 billion additional trees across the EU. But today I'm going to focus mainly on Article 4 and those Annex 1 habitats. So to focus in on one of our annex habitats in particular, Old Cecil Oak Woodland is a really important woodland habitat in Ireland. It's quite widespread. You can see its distribution in the grey boxes on the map there. And the little blue triangles are the sites that we monitor as part of our Habitats Directive reporting. And here are some of the results from the last round of reporting, of monitoring. We have about 60 square kilometres of this habitat that's been mapped in Ireland. So it's quite abundant still. But the area in good condition is 18 square kilometres. So almost 1/3 of the habitat is in bad condition. And the favourable reference area for the habitat is 399 square kilometres, which obviously is much higher than the current surface area. And that relates to the fact that we've had extensive deforestation in our history in Ireland, and that our oak woodlands today are very fragmented and in need of expansion and reconnection. So that's why that target is so high. So I won't dwell too much on the next table. That just basically gives you the total target for restoration and re-establishment within each of the decades. And I've broken it down then in terms of the number of hectares that we need to cover per year. I think that makes it a bit more tangible. So for Old Cecil Oak Woodlands up until 2030, we need to be restoring, or at least have measures in place to restore 135 hectares a year, and then 54 hectares a year up to 2050. But then for the re-establishment, so creating new Old Cecil Oak woodland habitat, the targets are much more steep. We need to be re-establishing about 2,500 hectares of Old Cecil Oak woodland a year up to 2030, and just over 1,000 a year up to 2040, and about 1,350 a year up to 2050. And if you are familiar with the current rates of afforestation in Ireland, they're in and around those levels, including all afforestation, including the non-native conifer plantations. So these targets are obviously very, very large when you put them in that context. But from an ecological point of view, they're not unreasonable. We need to re-establish large areas and reconnect these old oak woodlands. But obviously the implementation of that will be very challenging. So how do we approach a challenge like this? We break it down. And MPWS have been doing projects within these three broad categories over the last number of years. The first thing you need is your evidence base. You need the scientific data that will inform everything that comes after it. And then using that information, you do your strategic planning. And based on that, you roll out restoration programs that are informed by the evidence base and that are strategic. So in terms of building the evidence base, I'm sure many of you will be familiar with the National Survey of Native Woodlands that was carried out between 2003 and 2008, which is a really formative piece of work. And it's formed the basis of many other projects that have followed on from it. The Provisional Inventory of Ancient and Long-Established Woodland, which has been discussed already. The Article 17 monitoring that we do every 6 years, that's been done in 2013, 2019, and another round is being prepared at the moment. So we've got 3 rounds of monitoring data built up there. So we're getting a really good understanding of the trends in these habitats. And MPWS has also funded long-term woodland vegetation monitoring in Clarny National Park, which I'll tell you more about these other projects shortly. On the Article 17 monitoring, there's a network of sites around the country which we monitor regularly: 63 Old Cecil Oak woodlands, 14 bog woodlands, 40 alluvial woodlands, and 6 yew woodlands. The yew woodlands actually cover the whole resource of that habitat within the country, whereas the others are a sample. But this gives us a really good picture of what's going on. And the reports associated with that work have been published as Irish wildlife manuals, and they're available on the MPWS website. The work in Killarney National Park, the long-term monitoring, that's been carried out by the Department of Botany at Trinity, and it's actually been monitored for 30 years now at 5-year intervals. And it includes 6 sites with oak, yew and holly woodlands. And it's looked at vegetation and also tree regeneration parameters. And the consistent finding from that project has been that there hasn't been sustained regeneration of trees in Killarney National Park. And that's due largely to the issue of overgrazing by deer. That work has also been published as an Irish wildlife manual, and it's on the MPWS website. The Ancient Woodland Research Programme has been covered pretty comprehensively, and the 3 projects listed there have been discussed in detail. Thomas Lenniston is over there. He's the PhD student who's working on the ancient woodlands in Leinster. And internally in MPWS, myself and my colleague Terry Doherty, we recently published a piece of work on the Glen of the Downs, presenting the evidence for the presence of ancient woodland there. And that was in the last volume, the most recent volume of the INJ. Another important project that we have been working on is called the SWOOP, the Survey of NPWS Woodland Properties. And this was carried out as a pilot project in the Southwest region in 2023. And it includes full habitat mapping, baseline monitoring, assessment of the conservation status, restoration potential, and conservation and threat scores of all of our properties within those areas. And that's going to be really important in informing restoration planning and restoration measures. It gives us comprehensive information and allows us to compare both within regions and hopefully in due course nationally when the project is fully rolled out across the country. And I'm pleased to say that we've just commissioned another SWOOP survey which will cover all our properties in County Wicklow next year. So that's the work that we're doing to develop our evidence base. We're also doing strategic planning for woodland restoration. As I say, the National Restoration Plan is in the early stages of development, and we need to prioritise the sites that we're going to restore for the 2030, 2040 and 2050 deadlines. And the recent signing of a Memorandum of Understanding between MPWS and Coillte is a really welcome step forward in that regard. In terms of what we're doing at MPWS on our sites, we've developed a prioritised approach to yew woodlands, and we're also developing woodland management strategies for our large-scale sites, like some of the national parks. And then for smaller sites or clusters of sites that are considered priority, we're developing woodland management plans. And we've got a woodland management plan prepared for Ballyconnell Wood, which some of you will be visiting on Thursday. And we've also recently commissioned woodland management plans for all our properties in County Wicklow. So they will build on the results of that SWOOP survey that's being carried out in County Wicklow. So you see, we're building on the evidence base that we're creating. So we have a prioritised approach to yew woodland. Yew woodland is a priority habitat under the Habitats Directive, and Ireland has a particular responsibility for this habitat. We have the most important occurrence of the habitat within the EU. And a book chapter publication has been prepared on this: Taxus baccata woods in Ireland, ecology, conservation status and necessary conservation measures. So that was co-authored by myself and Philip Perrin and Fionnuala O'Neill from Beck Consultants. And it goes through the yew woodland sites that we have in Ireland, site by site, and sets out the measures that are needed in order to bring those into favourable conservation status. So that serves effectively as a habitat action plan for Woodlands in Ireland. It's a bit tricky to access, so that's why that QR code is there, to make it easy to download. And a really significant piece of work that's recently been published is the Woodland Management Strategy for Glenveigh National Park. Glenveigh has quite a large area of ancient Old Cecil oak woodland, and it's an internationally important site. But the wider area of the park has been quite heavily deforested, and we know this because of work that we've been doing looking at the old Ordnance Survey maps and the historical sources. So we know where the woodland used to occur, but there's very strong evidence that it's been lost over time due to overgrazing and also due to fire and inability to recover after fire because of that grazing impact. The woodlands have been shrinking and shrinking over many years, and in much of the site you see these woodlands here that are just clinging on the slopes where they're inaccessible to grazers, but actually there would have been woodland much more widely within this particular valley. So what we're doing in the Woodland Management Strategy is we're aiming to restore, expand and reconnect the native woodland habitat in Glenveigh National Park. And we're focusing on Glenveigh, which is the big glacial valley at the core of the national park. This is a landscape scale forest restoration project. So this is a new approach in Ireland. It's not something we've done before. We're working to a long-term 100-year vision, and the actions will include deer management, invasive species control, tree propagation and planting, promotion of natural regeneration, and also education and outreach. But long-term funding and resourcing is needed. As you might imagine, in the civil service, it's quite unusual to have a 100-year plan. So work is needed in order to support that through time. But the first phase of implementation is already underway. And we're seeing the first successes with young trees coming up where they weren't before. And this approach is intended to be replicated and upscaled elsewhere. And I'm very happy to say that we've just commissioned a woodland management strategy for Wicklow Mountains National Park as well. So that's a flavour of the evidence base and the strategic planning that we're doing. We're also implementing this work, and implementation is the crucial part. So a few examples from around the country. We've done native woodland scheme pilot projects in collaboration with the Forest Service, who funded those projects. At Glengarriff, where we had a native woodland conservation project, and in Wildneffin National Park, where we had a native woodland establishment project. At Reenadinny Yew-Wood, we've been implementing measures to open gaps in the canopy and create fencing, which will allow tree regeneration. And that's in line with that prioritised framework for that habitat. A couple of other examples are the Glen of the Downs Nature Reserve, where we've been removing cherry laurel, new deer exclosures, fencing in the Vale of Clara Nature Reserve, and of course the implementation of the Glenveigh National Park Woodland Management Strategy. So the National Restoration Plan, we're just beginning our work on that, but it's going to follow the same approach: evidence-based strategic planning, restoration programmes. MPWS is leading on the preparation of that plan, but we can't do that alone, and we're getting input from many different stakeholders working in the sector. And I hope that we will have a very broad buy-in to the implementation of that plan, because it can't be done by MPWS in isolation. To scale that up to national level, we need a whole of government and whole of society approach. So we need to integrate the work that's being done and scale it up to national level in partnership with others. So there will be opportunities for stakeholder input and public consultation over the next 2 years. And this work is going to bring significant opportunities for the native woodland sector. So I'd like to close by saying thanks to all my MPWS colleagues who've been involved in this work around the country, and thanks very much for listening.